Okay, now that we are in the tub and she's somewhat relaxed, I'm going to go ahead and start showing the products that I use. So this is the Nature's Specialty Easy Out De-Shedding Shampoo. Has a really, really good smell to it. I really like it. And then I'll follow up with the Easy Shed De-Shedding Conditioner. It doesn't say that, but that's what this is. Some other products that I use for the face, I have a pre-mixed solution in this bottle here. This is going to be the Blueberry Facial and also the normal face wash made by Nature's Specialties. And I go ahead and I mix the two together because I do not care for foaming face wash. It does not do very good in my opinion. So that's why I mix the two so that I can get the best of both worlds. So I'm going to go ahead and get the water started. I have a multi-level faucet here, 3 settings. For the most part I keep it on this setting because it's nice and gentle. Usually it makes dogs feel more comfortable. And I'm basically letting the water get to temperature right now because she is the one and only dog that I'm grooming today, and I just don't have the water set up yet. Something that I'll be using at the end of the wash cycle, I will be towel drying her, and then I will be spraying her with a mix of white vinegar, white distilled vinegar and water. It's a 50-50 ratio between the two. And what that does is it assists in drying. It also makes the hair softer and shinier. Although the products that I'm using now are going to give me a lot of shine, and the coat is going to be really, really soft afterward. This is just going to be another level, another layer, just like onions, as Shrek says. Groomers have layers. So I like to get the body pretty well drenched. And I have a personal preference. I like to do something that some groomers don't, is that once I get the water fully enveloped on the body, I go ahead and get the head done too. And even though she does not suffer from this situation as other dogs you're going to come across, if dogs like Yorkies and Shih Tzus, any dog that can get that heavy eye corner buildup, this is why you're going to want to wash the face first, because you're going to want to get that solution on the face and soaking into these troubled spots. Sometimes it's just so crusted on that it's fused to the skin, and it's dangerous to then use a clipper to remove the goopies from the eye corners. So I'm just going to do a light addition of water, and then I'm going to start with my shampoo. I don't have a large pump for my products, so I have to pump a lot. I'm not getting a whole lot of product out, but I'm pumping a lot. So these are things that I believe can be diluted, but I'm not. I'm just going to use them full force. And I am a hand washing connoisseur, if you will. Over the years, working in a corporate retail setting as a groomer, we have had washing stations with the soap where the product is diluted and fed through the hose, and you're getting the water and product at the same time. And some people will swear by those, but I personally do not care for them. They do not get the dog as clean as hand washing does, in my opinion. Yes, I hear all the time that people say, well, it's fresh water, fresh soap running over the dog constantly, but you have to get your hands in there. You have to physically scrub. You're not going to get the same results. And also, it may very well have to do with the product that's being used. I had initially, when I set up my salon, thought about getting a shampoo setup. Bathing system, that's what it is. I was blanking on the technical term. But ended up being money when you start up a business. It's pretty hefty, all the fees that's included. And basically I just didn't have the funding to get this system, and I'm glad that I didn't after that, because I just prefer the hand washing. I just like the results better. She's not a super dirty dog. If she was a super dirty dog, I would start out with a different beginner shampoo, and I would give her 2 washes. But she is fairly clean, and I'm just gonna make her cleaner. You have to make sure that you get up underneath the tail. She's got a very small nub. And I can smell some anal gland she probably released earlier when she was nervous. Anal glands, to me, is a topic that I believe is something that the vet only should do. And the reason is because there are so many things that can go wrong when you express an anal gland. They could already have problems, and the act of expressing exacerbates those problems. When you're just trying to squeeze, you might have a rupture if the dog's glands are so full and compacted and too much pressure is applied, they can be ruptured, and then that's going to be a hefty vet bill for you, the groomer, because you're the one who caused that, and you should pay for those mistakes. So, I just think it should be left to the vets because they do it internally, whereas us groomers are only allowed by law to do it externally. If you're a groomer and you're doing it internally, you better check your state regulations, because it's considered vet practices if you're performing that type of process. It's like a internal thing at that point, and that's on vets only. So it's nice not to have to do those glands anymore. When I was at corporate, you know, that was a part of the process with any bath or trim. Whatever the customer wanted, you did it. But I'm so glad that I can now have my own voice in the world. I really like this product because it really rinses easily. It doesn't hang around too much into the coat. And something with this gentle stream of water is actually removing it without difficulty. Now, with this being the shampoo, it's not imperative that every sud is removed on this portion, because I'm going to follow up with the conditioner. And then the conditioner is going to make that sud go away. We already had a build up. Alright, and with the conditioner, you're doing the same thing. You're just applying it. This stuff is so creamy, I love it. Makes my hands feel really nice after too. That's something that I've always felt bad for. I've had coworkers who have had eczema and other type of ailments with the skin that they could not do hand washing because of the product having a negative effect on them. And I have been lucky in my life to never have suffered from very many ailments such as that. Well, I must apologize to everyone. I just did a boo-boo. I am actually giving her a double bath. I thought I had moved my conditioner forward instead of the shampoo, but this is the shampoo again. So she's going to be super, super clean. Might as well go all the way in since I've started. That's one, I guess you can say, downfall with this product. The conditioner and the shampoo look very similar. That's embarrassing. But I hope the ones at home watching got a kick out of that. I don't do any editing to my videos. It's straight through. So what I'm doing is what you're seeing. Nothing removed. Sorry if I'm all up in everyone's faces. She is wanting to cling to this side of the tub. And I was hoping that she would want to be more to the center of the tub. Okay, that's the shampoo. This is the conditioner. Just drain again. A lot of my stuff is secondhand. There's only a handful of things that I have that are new. The tub is one of those secondhand items, and it did not have any grates for the bottom, and it did not have any a strainer for the drain. So I ordered the Paw Brothers kennel systems, and one day I was grooming a Bernese Mountain Dog, and it was like hitting my head against the wall because the dog was sitting down a lot, and the floor was still pretty full of water. And as you're blow drying the dog, there's more water being sprayed out. So I was basically taking one step forward and 2 steps back. So I went to the kennels, and I was like, those kennels look pretty similar in size, width, and whatnot. I wonder if I can fit those kennel grates into the tub. And so I tried it, and sure enough, it fit perfectly. Now I have to order more of the kennel grates, and that's been an issue because the manufacturer, Ryan's Pet Supply, who carries the Paw Brother products, has not had them in stock the size that I need for quite some time. Basically since I opened. I'm on the email list. They're supposed to send me a notification when it returns. But here I am waiting. And so my personal preference is I let the dog soak in the product before rinsing it away. And my reasoning is because they need time to actually sit in the solution and make it work. In my opinion, if you're just going to apply the product and rinse it away right away, you're wasting it. It's going down the drain, and I feel like if they actually sit in the product, they can actually get some more benefit from it. This is not the type of brush that you would use on a coat like hers for general grooming purposes. I'm so sorry. But if you use it with the grain, like this, it's going to help distribute the product and make it more even. And with her hair, she's probably gonna, some of the hair is gonna come out anyway. But don't do this with this hair type. That's gonna create tangles, knots, all that kind of stuff. And you don't want that. I don't have them sitting for a terribly long period of time. A couple of minutes. 5 minutes at the max mainly. Look at that. Some good product doing its job. Stand up. She's a nervous girl. I wanted to move her forward, and she's not about that life. She don't want to go forward. She says she's happy where she's at. That's okay. One thing that I forgot to mention earlier while I was discussing it is the vinegar water mixture. When you spray it on the dog, yes, it smells like vinegar initially, but once it dries up, it's gone. The smell of the smell of vinegar is totally gone. It's not there at all. And there's some good properties for vinegar on the skin. So I'm trying to be a natural grooming salon. All of my products are natural, biodegradable. And it was only fitting that I also had that process for the drying. I do have a different drying spray. I just don't care for it too much. I feel like it leaves a little bit of a residue, and I'm not overly applying it. When I worked at the retail store, we had a product called Unicoat. That stuff was really good, but it's not natural, so I don't have it. They had another product before that. It came in an aerosol can. And you know, aerosol cans have a lot of extra in them, so. But I really like that product really well. It did a really good job. I cannot recall the name of that product because it's been so long since they allowed us to use it. And that's one of the unfortunate problems with working in a corporate business, is that you are only allowed to use the products that they provide, or if the owner brings the product, then you can use that. But it has to be a dog product. It cannot be anything that's horses, humans, any other type of usage, like Dawn dish soap. I have my own opinions on Dawn dish soap. I know a lot of people are going to probably give me hate for it. Dawn dish soap is a guaranteed flea killer, 100%. The blue Dawn dish soap, and I have done my own studies. I took some flea specimens off of the client, and I placed each of the fleas in a solution of water and the myriad of different things to try to kill it. I've used the natural stuff, I used other flea meds that are on the market, shampoos, things like that. And some of these fleas, they didn't have any land in these little experimental things that I had them in. It was the flea and water. There was nothing that it could touch. So it was either going to drown or it was going to die from the flea prevention. Well, everything that I used other than Dawn, that fleece kept kicking around for sometimes 30, an hour, and a half a day, a whole day. Whereas when the Dawn dish soaps touched the fleas, it immediately killed. Now, I went further into my little private studies, and I said, what if the flea that I think is dead is not dead, and it's paralyzed, or, you know, something to that effect. And so I took the flea out of the water, and I placed it into the same container without anything but air and the flea, and some of them came back to life. And guess who did not come back to life? Dawn dish soap flea. Now, that being said, Dawn is a very, very, very harsh shampoo. It's not a shampoo, it's a harsh product. And it dries the skin like crazy. You're going to have hair loss from overusage. You're going to have such dry skin that you're going to have hot spots or other type of skin conditions arise from using it excessively. But one wash a month in the Dawn is not going to kill your dog. It's not going to have such adverse effects to it that, you know, would warn others about. Now, I don't like to use anything strong on puppies. A lot of the flea prevention products on the market, they have to be 12, 13, 16 weeks old before they can actually use the product safely. Well, if the dog has fleas and it's in that age range, I'm going to go ahead and use a Dawn dish soap, and then I'm going to follow up with one of my extra conditioning products, because we need to, alleviate the problem for the dog, and then you're going to have to make sure that you're retroactively adjusting to not have those skin possibilities that could come from using the Dawn. But this is my opinion and my personal beliefs and studies that I have done. And you can hate me or you can love me, it doesn't matter to me. I don't depend on anyone else to pay my bills. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant or smug. I'm just saying that because I don't think it's not going, your points and thoughts are not going to change my mind. And my points and thoughts are not going to change your mind. So we just roll with it. Sorry, I was answering a text really fast. Alright, so I'm going to start by towel drying to get the bulk of the moisture off. That was another problem with working in corporate, is you were limited to the amount of products that you could use. Like if I had a dog, we weren't technically supposed to use more than one towel, and that's because the company had a service that came through with the towels, cleaned and washed and dried for us once a week, and they would order only a specific number so that they didn't have to pay anything more than they had to pay. So sometimes all we would get is 50 towels for a week between 5 groomers and a bather. And then sometimes we got 150 towels a week. It just really depended on the sales from the year prior to dictate the amount of towels that we were given. But thankfully, there is, they do not take away the towels that you have left over that are clean. They let you keep whatever. So the rollover game saved us a lot of the time. But some dogs, I'm sorry to say, some dogs need 2, 3, 4 towels. And it's going to make your dry time faster and dog stress less. Okay, so here's my vinegar water concoction. Just going to protect her face. I'm going to spritz it all over. And then you just manipulate to make sure that you just got all of that goodness spread everywhere. And then you're going to start with the dryer. So during this point, I'm not going to be able to talk because the dryer is so loud. So talk to you soon.